Welcome back to West Ham United for the player rating show. West Ham United 2, Newcastle United 3. Disappointing loss. We're here for the rating show. As always, I'm joined by Matt. Matt, how are you?
I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. A whirlwind of a couple of days for football. Check out the West Ham dailies, Anton Stell. They've covered all of the madness that's happened in the last 2 days. It's just completely nuts, isn't it, Matt?
It isn't surprising. You know, it's been on the cards for years. The big clubs make more money, so they want more money. The Premier League bottleneck themselves in the way they make money. But it's united the whole football community. You know, not a lot of things do, but everyone is solely against it. And hopefully, justice and goodwill and honour and all that stuff will prevail, and we won't see the light of day.
Let's hope it does, but we will get straight on in with the player ratings. Chelsea pulling out of Super Group. Yeah, it is. I think it is coming out now that Chelsea are coming out. Clubs are, the protests going on. I don't know if you've seen that protests at Stamford Bridge. Everything is kicking off, and fans are making their voices heard. And let's hope we can come together and get this debacle over and get this all sorted out and back to normal in the football world, because football is completely taken over everything everywhere at the moment. But we will get on with the player ratings. It feels like weeks ago, the game, Matt. It honestly does. West Ham 2, Newcastle United 3. Disappointing, but we still currently sit in 4th position as Liverpool failed to beat Leeds last night. So we're still in the 4th position, which is
Merseyside Reds.
Yeah, it was good for us, definitely was. But we will start with the ratings, guys. Get your ratings in the comments and start giving your ratings. But we'll start with Lucas Fabianski. This is going to be a lower rating for Lucas Fabianski.
Not gonna lie. I'm sometimes harsh. People say I'm harsh, but the defence as a whole was relatively shocking on Saturday.
It was.
So, that's probably arguably the worst game Fabianski's played for West Ham.
I feel like when I type the ratings in, what you say, I'm more going to be down this end than I am down this end, putting numbers in today. But what are you giving Fabianski?
I'm going for 4. I think that's being generous.
I think that is being generous. Yeah, he cost us a goal, and some people say he cost us the first goal as well.
He cost us 3. 100% the second goal is his fault. You can't argue against that anyway.
Yeah,
he dropped that goal. The first one, the lack of communication and understanding by himself and Diop was just shocking. Diop equally to blame for that one. And even the third one, yes, it was a good header. Yes, there's arguments it could have been a foul. But it still was straight at him, and he sort of ducked underneath it, like he was expecting it to go low. So no, I'm giving a 4, and maybe that's generous. But you know what I will give him credit is that he held his straight after the game on his own Twitter page. He put a picture up. He looked absolutely distraught, and he held his hands up and said, "I'm really sorry. I've let the team down. It's a bad performance." And you know what? Everyone has a bad performance every now and again.
Yeah,
and he's been so good for so long and saved us so many points that he's allowed to have a bad game. But it was a hope. It's just a one-off.
Yeah. Right. Let's see what you guys have said. We've gone for a 5 here. James has gone for a 5. 4. Nightmare Fabianski 4. So maybe you're going a little bit too low. 5s are coming in, and that. I think Mandy says we still love Fabianski, and I think we still do. Definitely. That's one quite bad game in quite a while. So, he will move on, and I can't remember the last time he made a big mistake like that. No. It's just not in him, and they are human, aren't they? They definitely are. But we will move on into the defence, and I feel like I'm going to be this side of the keyboard yet again. But we will start with Vladimir Coufal. Vladimir Coufal, then, Matt. And what do you think of his performance?
Well, I think from what I can see I've written down, I think he got the highest rating for a defender.
I think that's
He's getting
fair.
he's getting a 6.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I thought he was the best out of the bunch.
yeah.
I thought he was one of our best players on the pitch, and I mean, he didn't do a massive amount to award that. I mean, but he wasn't involved in the individual errors. He did his job quite well, I thought, and I mean, he gets the highest rating and fully deserved, I think.
He's like I've said, he's a bit like Noble. You'll always get 100% out of him. He looks solid in defence again. He gave us
Yeah.
attacking options at times. He was unlucky with a header when he could have, he got caught between trying to pass it across goal and try and score. Yeah, it's just, you always know what you're going to get with him. Like, he's always reliable. So, but we conceded 3 goals, so he's getting the 6 as the highest.
Yeah, I mean, we dipped down to 5 and up to 7 for Sufal. 7 seems to be the highest one we're getting. Sufal 7 did everything he could, gave 100%. I agree. Sufal 7. Anton's changing. Actually, I'll change to a 7. As I have to rate the other defenders. Yeah, you do.
Oh, you don't need. Well, I don't. I'm not going that nice.
Mark says it's hard to rate. Dawson left the rest with a tough ask. He definitely did. Oh, the 0.5s are coming in already. Mandy's gone for a
don't do 0.5s, Mandy. 6 or 7. Make your decision.
That is a statement. But we are going to give this man, Vladimir Sufal, a 6, which I think is fair because I mean he did all right, I thought, and I don't think he did a huge amount wrong compared to the other defenders, which we will move on to now. And this is going to be interesting viewing. Get it into the chat. We're going to get straight on in with him. It's that man sent off on the 36th minute, Craig Dawson. Here we go. Right. What are you gonna give Craig Dawson then? I mean, only on the pitch 36 minutes. He left the other defence in a very awkward position. What are we going for? My finger is on the tip of 0.
I've only given this rating once. I'm giving it again. He's getting a 1.
Oh, we got a 1. Yeah, I mean, Noble had it, and now we're giving it to Craig Dawson, and rightly so.
Look, he had a bad day at the office, and that's just going to sum it up. You know, the first one was a silly foul that he just rash decision, which he was under pressure for, and then the second one was even worse. Like, and obviously hindsight's 2020. In retrospect, it's all great, but he'd honestly been better off just letting Maxim run past him for the second goal. Once he had that awful touch, went like 4 foot in front of him, it's better off to let him run. Because even if he scored, you were still playing 11 versus 11. Yeah. I'm not being funny. He actually got lucky because if you watch back on that foul, the ref could have quite easily given a red. Like, it was an awful tackle. And he got lucky that he got a second yellow for it. And at that point, I said in the last year, I was like, I don't think, I said we wouldn't get back in it. I thought he left us far too much to do.
He left us right in the lurch there. I mean, on the 36th minute, I mean, that minute, people will say that minute cost us the game. We conceded and we had a man sent off. So, going into the kickoff there, we were one man down and a goal down. And that was always going to be hard to come back from. Let's see what you guys are saying. Right, let's scroll up. Dawson 4, 3. Dawson 2. What a total shambles. 2, 1. 2, put the team in a virtually impossible position. I agree, Toby. Hope you're well, Toby. Mandy 2, shambolic decision making for someone as experienced as him. Dawson 5, he wasn't helped by that terrible pass from Bowen. To be honest, that is a very good point. But I mean, you've got to stay on your feet. You really have. Calamity for Craig Dawson. Dawson was maybe influenced by Diop, who likes to charge out. Well, we'll see. But, I mean, he misses. He puts a bit of a headache in to David Moyes' head as Dawson misses the next game. He misses the game against Chelsea. Will that go ahead? We don't know. But this man will miss the next game. Some people even say, Matt, that's a good thing that he misses the next game.
Maybe it is. I mean, he is on a bit of bad form, and maybe just a bit of time out of the spotlight and missing a game and get his head straight, get himself back on the training pitch, and get himself back fit again for the little final run-ins.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could help. It could help, but we will move on and we will continue on with the defence. We'll move on to the second of the three centre backs. Issa Diop. Issa Diop then, Matt. I mean, as the other defenders were left in the lurch, one man down, and it was always going to be hard from that moment on. But what did you think of Issa Diop's performance, Matt?
I've just really changed my score. I was going to give him a 5. I'm giving him a 6.
Yeah.
Because he actually had a very solid second half.
Mm-hmm.
He scored a goal to bring us back in it. And he had that really important clearance off the... Well, it wasn't important in the end, but he had that clearance off the line right after he scored, and you thought maybe that's the wake-up call we need, maybe that's going to save us the point, and unfortunately they still scored anyway. But I'll be honest, I thought he was the best of the three centre-backs, not going to lie.
I think he was. I mean, he let in a goal, really, didn't he, with the kerfuffle with Fabianski, getting his feet and the own goal.
That was why I was going to give him the 5, because like I said, the communication, like, one of them's got to call it. And it feels like Diop was going to take it, but didn't call it. And Fabianski's dived, and then Diop tried to get his feet out of the way last second. And it was like Bambi on ice, wasn't it? Somehow ended up in the back of the net. You're thinking, but he went to a back 2 in the second half with Ogbonna. He looked the more composed. He looked the fitter. He got us back in the game, and a couple of good headers, good tackles, clearance off the line. But we conceded 3 goals, so he's getting a 6.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 6 only because he scored, or 5. Yeah. I mean, some people say he let in a goal stupidly and he scored a goal. So I mean, he did get us back into it. But 6 is what we're going for. Long Dark says 4. Freshfielder 6. Richard 3. Diop 6. Don't challenge your own keeper. 6 scored a good goal, but the own goal was comical. It really, really was. He says Chelsea have backed out of the European Superliga, down 1 down, 5 to go. I suppose, I really,
could it
really
start
do.
To crumble?
It could do. It could do. Toby says that clearance was Johnson, was it not? Somebody fixed the Stato machine. I think it. No, because yeah. I think it was Johnson actually. Good shout. Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway, yeah. Well, it's very rare that the Stato gets something wrong, but we will have to see if that was right or wrong. So we'll move on into the defence, and we will move on into Angelo Ogbonna. I can't find his video, so we won't do Ogbonna. We'll do Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, and I thought I didn't like his game at all. I thought he was very. I don't think he was up to it there. I really didn't.
No, I've given Johnson a 5 because he's energetic. He likes to get up and down. His downfall, which is nothing to do with his own fault, is that he's not left-footed, is he?
He's not, and he was put in a very strange position. Yeah.
They knew it. So every time he got into that outside position, like outside of the winger, they all knew full well that he was going to stop, get back on his right foot and cross it in. But he was out of position. And he really got exposed a lot more in the second half, and we were basically trying to go gung-ho and playing 4 at the back alongside an unfit Ogbonna.
Yeah. I mean, it was always going to be difficult, wasn't it? Because Ogbonna was not up to it, and I thought he was really out of his depth, and I didn't think that he had a great game at all. But I mean, fair ratings. We'll see what you guys said in the chat then. So we're going Johnson 6, 5, 4, 7. 6 for that clearance, or he'd have been a 5 too. He's a left back. 7. 5 needs a year out on loan. Manny says, I don't like Ben at left back. He doesn't have a great left foot, but is still learning. 5, yeah, he is still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is out of position. We've got to give it to him. You know, he's still young. He's still out of position completely. Richard says, if Balbuena and Ogbonna stay fit, I don't see Dawson nor Diop starting again in the remaining games of the season. Interesting. I mean, it could be, but we are giving Johnson a 5, then, because I mean, none of these defenders are gonna have a high rating, Matt, because we conceded 3 against Newcastle running relegation.
Yeah, exactly. So none of the defenders are getting high ratings. I can't do it. You know.
Oh no.
Especially that the first half performance was like shambolic. So.
Yeah. But we'll move on to Angelo Ogbonna then. Now I found the video clip. Angelo Ogbonna then, he looked very, very
Again, you might say I'm harsh.
I don't know what the word is.
He just wasn't fit, was he? He wasn't
fit. He was very slow, lethargic. I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't think he was more than 75% fit. He wasn't fit. No.
I made a comment on the Matchday Live, and I said I think had one of Creswell or Masuaku been fit, I don't think Ogbonna would have played. But I think because they were both injured, Moyes done something he never does, apart from with Antonio, and he rushed someone back early. You could clearly see, like after half an hour, Ogbonna was knackered. He was not fit in the slightest.
No.
As such, I've given him a 4. It's kind of harsh because it's a bit like with Johnson. I've given him a 5, but maybe I should have given him a 6 because he's out of position. Maybe I should give Ogbonna higher because he's coming to do a job that he shouldn't have been doing. Realistically, and Moyes will probably look back in retrospect and say, "I should have started Balbuena. He should have finished with the previous game where he had Diop on the left-hand side." But Ogbonna was. You said he was lethargic. He was unfit. His passing wasn't good. His touches weren't great. It was just times that he was limping, like he just wasn't running properly.
He just completely wasn't with it, and I don't know. Obviously, we know why he wasn't fit, and that was the end all. I think. I think he just wasn't fit, and a real shame that he was put in there. When he's not fit, because I mean, he can't.
He's immense. Well, we all know what he can do when he's fit.
He is, yeah.
But in retrospect, maybe that will make him in a better stead for this weekend. We play Chelsea, because then maybe he's 1 week ahead. He's not in that. He might have been in that position this weekend with Chelsea, where he's lacking that match sharpness. So maybe a gamble will pay off for the running. Who knows?
Well, we will see. But Anton's going for a 3. Oggy 6 from James Moss 1006. Freshfielder says Ogbonna 5, rusty and shaky. 5 needs to get up to speed. Yeah, he does. 5 and high 8s got bullied for the 3rd, not match fit. Yeah, definitely not match fit, that's for sure. Mandy says 6 for Oggy. Dawson did him no favours after being out for so long. Made it a tough game for him. Yeah. 4, boo. Mandy said Matt needs some chocolate.
I'm just calling it as it is, Mandy. I don't pull any punches, right?
Yeah. And Long Dark is going a 6. Yeah. So I mean, it brings an end to the. I mean, would you say a woeful defence, Matt?
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Yeah. Definitely. In stages, it was really not very pretty. But we'll move on into the midfield then, and we will start with Mr. West Ham. If there's European Super League go through, could he lift the Euros? Could he lift the World Cup? Could Mr. West Ham lift it for England? Mr. Mark Noble, then, I feel the game passed him by a little, but he did what he did.
I gave him a 6.
Yeah.
I think we come out and say this most weeks. You know what Mark Noble is. You know what you're going to get. If you expect to get anything different, like you're living in cuckoo land. He's at 34. He's past his prime. He's in the back end of his career. He's not really going to develop and change at this stage in his career. He's not going to be a Gerrard who's now going to, at the latter of his career, turn into a prime Pirlo and start pinging it from sitting in front of the back two. He's always played the same way. He always will play the same way. And he done the same thing. You know, he done the same thing against Newcastle. The only thing was, unlike Leicester and Wolves, Newcastle fully went, you know what? He hasn't got any legs on him. So if we just get Maxim to like drop off the centre forward and just hang a couple of yards off Noble, Noble will not be able to do anything when Maxim gets the ball because his tricky and pace will just leave Noble for dead. And the game was passing him by at stages. I felt maybe in the second half when we was trying to play more possession based, he had more of an impact in the game. But the first half, when they were just picking us off at will on the counter attack, the ball was just going around him. He didn't have the pace to affect it, but that's what you get with Noble.
No, yeah. I mean, you can't slate him, can you? So we're going Noble 6. Lots of sixes coming in. It seems to be what we're going for. Like 4 6s coming in. Mandy says Noble did what he could at 33-5. 6, not awful. First half and all right in the second. Still a king though. Yeah, he is. He really, really is. But we'll move on to his midfield partner then in the midfield. Hopefully he'll get his partner in crime back very, very soon. But it's Thomas Souček. I think he did okay in the midfield, Matt.
Well, I've given him the same rating. I give him a 6.
Yeah.
But I've made the same comment for about 3 weeks now. The fact that we don't see the best attacking aspects of Souček when he plays alongside Noble.
He hasn't got the ability to go forward, has he? He hasn't got the license.
It seems that, he hasn't got the license because he probably knows, like we made the comment, the game was passing Noble by in the first half. And Souček's thinking, you know what, I can't afford to run forward because then Noble will probably get overrun in the midfield. So he's almost like I don't know if it's Moyes and Noble instilling it onto Souček or Souček just doing it himself where he's going, I'm not going to get us forward as much because I need to support my teammate and I know that he's not going to be able to do it without me. Whereas with Rice, he's like, no, you know what, Deck's got it. I can just get up and down. And then I know that if I do get caught upfield, Deck can hold it on his own until I get back.
Yeah.
Like he can hold up the play for 15 seconds for me to get back.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
it's just
you always get the work rate with Souček. You always get something down the pitch. He always tries most, and he actually had some pretty good passes. He'd done quite a few of those big switching diagonals, sort of like you hadn't really seen in his toolbox set of skills he'd done. So, but he tried to affect as much as he could while trying to protect Noble on the back four.
A little bit of more breaking news coming in. There's 2 down, 4 to go. Man City pulling out of the Super League. So there's 4 down. Chelsea and Man City are pulling out of the Super League. We will see what happens and see what occurs in the hours and days to come.
I just read as well that Atletico Madrid are pulling out. Some Spanish teams are joining now as well. So the cards are crumbling, people.
Yeah, it's all not going well for the European Super League gang. Then Rich said Noble should not be starting, but I feel potato salad is nothing without a serving of rice. It's really, really not. It's really, really not. Noble should not be starting. Yes, but he hasn't. Rice is out. He hasn't got a choice, has he? It's just what Moyes has got to do. Because, he's got no cover there when Declan Rice is injured. Anton says 6, 7, 7. Souček is badly missing Rice 6, 6, but he's playing in shackles to an extent. 6 missing Rice. Yeah, I feel more chat going on about the European Super League. All 12 clubs meeting tonight to discuss disbanding it. Oh God, I can't say that word.
Disbanding.
Getting rid. Yeah,
Disbanding.
getting rid of it. But we will see what happens then. So, I mean, not the highest ratings we're going to get tonight, but keep your ratings coming in, people, as we will continue on. It's needed again. It's needed again. I didn't get my hat quick enough, but the hat's needed. The hat's needed. There it is. Stell's not in tonight because he hasn't got an opportunity to rate Arthur Masuaku. He's not in the chat. But that's just for you, Stell. Just for you. As we move on past Thomas Suchek, we move in to the, what do we call it? The three-man attack, and we will start with Pablo Fornals. A lot of people were saying he had an awful game. I don't think he had an awful game, if I'm being completely honest.
I gave him a 6. I think it's weird because I think I'd say the same statement to Fornals as I said to Noble. I think the game sort of passed him by. I thought it was, for how effective and influential he has been both in attack and defence in recent weeks. I do feel that, like, especially in the first half, he really found like lacking and ineffective. But
yeah,
and even in the second half, like it almost seemed in the second half we decided we were going to try and play possession and then try and get down the wings, but crosses in. But we were expecting the fullbacks to do the crossing, so Fornals really didn't have much of an input in the game at all.
Yeah, people are saying, he didn't turn up. I mean, none of our players had their best game, did they? Let's be completely honest. But I don't think he did awful. James says 6. Fornals 5. Toby says 7. Driving force. A lot. I thought his still running. His running really mattered with a man down. Yeah, it did. All the work. Right, they all had to put the nitty gritty work in there. Fresh Fielder says Fornals 8. Best player on the pitch by a mile. Says Fresh Fielder. 7, 6, 6 went missing at times. Yeah. I mean, it was difficult because we didn't have a load of as we've had before of attacking chances. We didn't completely boss a half like we have done in the last 3 games, Matt, have we?
No, we didn't. I mean, even the second half, when we had the possession, we didn't really create that many chances. Like, I can't think of the Bradford having to make many saves. I think we scored 2 goals, but obviously one was a penalty. But we didn't really test him, didn't put him really under any sort of pressure. I thought Fabianski was by far the more busier of the 2 goalkeepers over the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And that even without the goals. So it's hard to really rate attacking. Like, it's weird. I said the defence was bad because we conceded goals, but then we scored 2 goals. But I don't think the attack was great either because the defender scored 1 and the other one was a penalty.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be completely honest. We scored 1 from a header and we scored 1 from a penalty that Lingard put away quite smartly. But not the best day at the office. We shall say for Pablo Fornals. Would you agree?
I don't think anyone had a good game, but yeah. No, I said he's a bit like Suchek. You'll always get effort out of Fornals. He'll always run up and down the pitch, always put himself about. But I just don't think he was able to really get a hold of the game or put any sort of influence on it. But then again, we didn't really either. So
this man will move on. He was a little bit quiet. He scored the penalty, but let's see what you guys thought of Jesse Lingard. I'd say this game and the Fulham game are probably going to be the least effective. The ones he was most quiet in. The 0-0 draw and this game. But I mean, he did what he needed to do in terms of the penalty, though.
Well, I mean, this is probably might be the lowest rate I've given him. I've given him a 7 because he did score the penalty, and that was at the time. Obviously, it was relevant in the end, but at the time there was a massive amount of that pressure on that penalty.
Yeah, there was,
but massive, also in the second half. I'm not watching the first. Like in the second half, he was really the one trying to make things happen. I mean, the first half he was coming like back behind the centre mids to pick up the ball to try and make things happen.
Yeah,
case in point that people are now treating him with more respect. I think in the first half there was points when Lingard was like marked by 3 people.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is what we could see, double marking players like Lingard, because we know that he's going to be our key threat trying to push us up the pitch, and we just didn't have that flow there, did we? I thought, but he scored the penalty. I mean, only just there. As you said at the time, there was massive pressure on that penalty because that would have meant 2-2, and then I think most West Ham fans would have thought we could go on and win this. Obviously, it went the other way, unfortunately. But it's what experience gets you, Matt, and he stepped up and put it away quite smartly.
He did, and I said it was a terrific penalty, especially considering you think the last one he had, which was really poor. Was it Sheffield United? Was it Sheffield United? Yeah, I think it was Sheffield United game. We had 2 penalties sort of back to back, didn't we? Rice took one of them and Lingard took the other.
That's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was his first one was a poor penalty, and obviously he scored the rebound.
Yeah,
but that was a very composed, well done, well taken penalty. I said there would have been massive pressure at the time, but in the end, unfortunately, it was irrelevant.
Yeah, it was, unfortunately. But let's see what you guys are saying. 6 was very quiet apart from scoring the penalty. Messi 6. 7, 6, 6. Yeah, I agree with this. He just didn't get going, and he couldn't get himself into the game to do what he's done in the first half of the last 3 games. Manny says Jesse had a wall of players ahead mostly. His touch was off. 6. Out of salt 6. 6 didn't do bad, but can't get extra points for being a god most of the time. Well, there you go. There you go. 7. Lingard 7 didn't go missing a blight when looking for the ball too deep. Apparently the Chelsea versus Brighton game's kickoff's been delayed. We'll get more on that. Honestly, the news doesn't stop here in the football world. The news doesn't stop, and it just keeps on coming. Whatever it's about the Super League, all of this stuff. But I'm just gonna have a look.
It's been delayed until 12:15 because of protests.
Yeah, tonight's kickoff will now be 8:15. Yeah, well. There you go. I mean, the scenes we saw, delayed by 15 minutes due to protests. I mean, the scenes I saw on a couple of live streams was, it looked like there was a lot of people there, protesting, and they were trying to get them away, but obviously the buses couldn't get in, and nothing was really moving. Reese, hope you're well. Fan power, yeah, it definitely is fan power. But we'll move on to the last player. We will rate that did start, and that is Jared. That is sorry about that. That is Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen, then, Matt. I feel he went a bit. What's the words? Quiet and a bit. I don't know. I don't know about Bowen, Matt.
I mean, look, I was going to say out of position, but he has played centre forward for Hull. But
he has.
I don't feel right saying this. Tactically, defensively, Bruce got it spot on. I don't like saying that because I don't think Bruce knows what tactics are. But he's so inept, it's untrue, Bruce. But he got it spot on. He played us at our own game.
Yeah.
Sit back, be compact, have pace on the counter.
He did a complete West Ham. He did literally what we do.
Problem for Bowen is that he's not. See, if we had Antonio in that game, I think it would have been an entirely different game.
I think
because Bowen's thing is either coming deep and picking up the ball, or playing the balls over the top and behind. And in the Arsenal game, the Leicester and the Wolves game, they were teams coming at us, and there was room in behind to do it. Newcastle was so deep, he had no room to run in behind. So his options were come to feet and pick the ball up, or just get bullied by their centre-backs.
Yeah.
Because he's not an Antonio. He's not 6 foot and built of muscle. He's not going to be 4 inches shorter, but still be able to compete in the air because of his size.
Yeah.
And he played that awful pass for Dawson's first booking. So, I mean, for that, I'm giving him a 6. I thought, very quiet. I thought he tried, and that's the thing we always ask for. It's everything we can ever ask for. They try. He didn't throw his toys out the pram. He didn't just give up. He was always trying. But the way he plays as a, a false number 9, a second centre forward, is ineffectual against a team that basically says you're not getting space in behind, you've got to play in front of us. Because that's not what he wants.
A very difficult afternoon it was for Jared Bowen. He just couldn't get anything going.
He did get an assist.
Mainly. He did,
but
yeah.
That was his better contribution. That was coming from out wide, not trying to play down the middle as a second centre forward.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at some comments then. Right, let's rate Bowen then. Toby's asking where Reese has been. Would have joined earlier, but my phone was on like 1% coming back from Tesco. So 6 for Bowen. 7 tried to run in behind constantly. He did, and just nothing was working. He just seemed to be running straight into a brick wall. Duzzy says 6. 6. Bowen 7 ran plenty. He definitely did. Mark 6. Toby says Bowen a 7. I give him an 8 if he didn't look like someone who would mug your nan, and he goes down more than the big 6s at integrity. He does go down a bit easy sometimes, Matt, doesn't he?
He does, but that's the modern game mentality, isn't it? That's the way they're taught to play these days. That's why they're taught in the academies.
Yeah,
I've said this before on live streams, and Stell's giving me this like weird look, like what you're talking about. We have VAR. VAR is supposed to be there to help players, but until they implement, like VAR can only implement the rules it's given. But until the FA or the Premier League or UEFA or FIFA bring in a rule that says if you're fouled in the box but you try and stay on your feet and you don't score, then you get the penalty, then players won't do it. But when the option is you stay on your feet and you try and score and you kick it out for a goal kick and they go, well, you stayed on your feet, or if you just do a Vardy and get breathed on and fall over and you get a penalty, or Grealish or Son, I'm not trying to pick on Vardy, but it just he always comes to mind because he was one that brought in the whole thing of you implement contact with them. Like I think he won the year Leicester won the league, he won like 10 penalties by kicking into other players. Like he ran across and he dangled his leg out into the defender's leg to make sure there's contact. But until VAR and I said UEFA, FIFA, FA, Premier League, whatever, until they implement rules that says you'll be rewarded for your moral obligation of trying to stay up, you will still get the penalty because VAR will come back and look at it. They aren't going to stay on their feet. Why would you stay on your feet? If you get half kicked by a defender and you can go, I can limp for a few seconds and try and score, but I'm going to shank it wider, I might lose the ball, and then that's your advantage gone. Or I can just go down and VAR is going to go, well, there wasn't enough contact for him to fall over, you get the penalty. People aren't going to stay on their feet. So I don't like seeing it, and I don't want Bowen to do it, but you can understand from a player's logic, well, do I want the reward of the penalty or the free kick, or do I want to just try and stay up and then maybe lose the possession and concede a goal or not score?
It's difficult. It really, really is. But it is modern day football. James, what's this say? All ESL clubs are meeting this evening to discuss disbanding. Oh, honestly, that word.
Disbanding.
The Super League. The disbanding, just getting rid of, and reports are suggesting Man United, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona preparing to pull out. So everything is going pear-shaped for the ESL. Then everything's going pear-shaped. But Bowen 5, that pass was more damaging than Fab's dropped catch. 6 for trying shocking pass, got Dawson booked. 7 says Reese. Yeah. I mean, it was difficult for him. I thought it really, really was. But just before we move on to the subs, to the gaffer and to Kevin Friend, please like, comment, and subscribe. There we go. So we will get on then with the subs. So I mean, it is hard to do subs, but we will continue. What are we giving? We will continue on then, and we will go with Ryan Frederick. It's difficult, isn't it, Matt? But I mean, Ryan Frederick, he came on. Some people thought he started. But what are we going for then, Matt?
Well, I mean, Fredericks come on in like the 90th minute, didn't he? He come on right like the 89th minute. Was it right at the end? I'm not giving him a rating.
Minute. Yeah, we were. It's just
I'm not giving him a rating. Like it was.
There's
it was a
nothing to rate him on, is there? Yeah.
No, it was like doing a sub for the sake of it. Like I don't think they put one for Johnson as well, didn't they? So they didn't even put him on the right hand side where at the last few minutes he could try and get down the wing and put a cross in. You just saw that we had a problem where Johnson couldn't get the ball in on his left foot, and you went, I don't know what to fix that. I put another right footer on. I didn't give him a rating. He didn't do anything. There was no time to do anything. Newcastle were very professional in extra time. They wound down the clock. They time wasted. They ran in the corner. Everything you could want out of game management to drain that clock as fast as possible because that win basically guaranteed their survival for another. Can't blame him for it. I understand it. It happens. But I gave him nothing. I gave him not applicable.
Yeah. Yeah.
There wasn't any point.
Next sub, I mean, it is hard to rate subs, but next sub.
Mandy said, did he play?
Yeah. About 5 minutes. I think, was it 8 minutes at the end? I think it was something silly like that. It's just about 8 minutes to rate a player. But he came on. But let's rate Saeed Benrahma. Saeed Benrahma, he got a bit more time, but what are we thinking then? I gave
him a 6.
Yeah.
He didn't really do anything, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because I think he came on. Is it just before? I think he literally came on before we got the penalty, didn't he? Like just before the penalty. Because I remember everyone saying, "Oh, we've literally taken Noble off, and now we've got the penalty."
Yeah.
But once we scored that penalty, the momentum of the game changed. It was like that reawoke Newcastle. And then we spent 15 minutes frigging going back the other way again. It seems to be every time that Benrahma comes on, we're defending, and that's not what his thing is. So I give him a 6.
Yeah. I mean, he tried. I mean, the first thing he did, he ran at the defense, trying to make a breakthrough, but was unsuccessful though. So we're rating Benrahma 5. Benrahma 7 lost first possession, but 4 to get it back, looked lively, getting better. Yeah, I agree. Benrahma 6 made some good runs, nothing spectacular. 5 for Benny. 5 didn't have much of a chance, but again, did nothing with it. Yeah, I feel we got it, but he went forward, and then there was no options really there. Benrahma 6. What could he do? We should have parked the bus at 2-2. I mean, we could have done. Should we have done,
to be honest, because I think, like we'd managed to somehow get back in the game, but I don't think
if we did.
I made that comment on the live stream.
Yeah. If we did, the bus had 2 flat tyres then. It's a very good point. And the last sub that we are going to rate, it is the little gem. It is Manuel Lanzini. We keep saying it again. Not much time. Didn't do a huge amount with it.
He had 10 minutes. I think he came on like the 88th minute.
Yeah.
Again, I gave him nothing. I put not applicable.
Yeah.
Because he came on. Who did he even come on for? I can't remember who he came on for. Oh, was it Lingard?
Yeah. Because Lingard had his cramp, didn't he?
And he went off. Lanzini come on. I gave him nothing because he literally didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
We were just getting battered. Newcastle was just. It was weird. They were sort of trying to push forward to get the win, but then they also knew they couldn't afford to lose, so they went in like getting it down to our end and then sort of going to the corner and time wasting or putting in fouls or slowing up play. He did nothing. I think he had a couple of good passes, but
he did better than Benrahma. I feel I agree with Toby. But he still did better.
Yeah, he did.
He still did better. NWO says Lanzini for Ben Rama all day. Needs more game time. Interesting. I mean, he is a bit lightweight. 6 no time. Yeah, given completely no time. But this. I've just seen that 10 for the Spurs equaliser. I like that. But we will move on and we will discuss that man. It is the gaffer, David Moyes. Starting 11 subs, all of it taken into consideration, and of course the final score. What are we going to give David Moyes, Matt?
I gave him a 7.
I feel like he could have done a bit more with the starting lineup. I feel with Ogbonna, he shouldn't have started Ogbonna because he probably knew that he wasn't fit. But he just put him in there in desperation. I believe he could have done a bit better. I do feel, but I mean, subs should have come on. I believe at halftime the subs should have come on. Ben Rama should have come on at halftime. But what can you do?
I think first half he got like a 2. Second half probably got like a 9. I think the first half we were awful. He got some of the. They said he probably got the formation wrong and probably wrong selection playing Ogbonna. But the way we dominated the second half, I thought we brought it back. I still feel sometimes he's not really sure about subs. He doesn't like making them too early, but I give him overall 7. Like we lost we won the second half, lost the first half, and give him we won the second half with 10 men. It didn't even look like we had 10 men. It still looked like 11 versus 11.
Yeah,
I'll give him a 7. There's counter claims either way to take points, add points. So I'll give him about a 7.
Yeah, and I mean, we did literally hand them 2 goals. We definitely did. 7. Second half was quality. I think this has come a wrong system for me. Newcastle played as back 5 and only had 1 decent player to fear. Should have gone for it back with an extra player in midfield to try and get the. To try and get the dominance in the midfield. I kind of agree. 8 didn't bring on a centre back for Dawson. That's attacking for him. I mean, could be. Freshfielder says Moyes 5 happy with the lineup. Got completely outdone by Steve Bruce. They suffocated TAA and Spurs. We did nothing to overcome it. Yeah. Duzzy says come back 2 goals with 10 men. Yeah, we did, and we did show resilience, and he's got to get some credit for that. But the last man, actually, we've got 3 people left. We've got Kevin Friend, which we will do now. Then we've got the hosts, me and Matt. So Kevin Friend, then, he gave us the penalty correctly. He went to the VAR monitor. To be honest, let's be real. He sent Dawson off correctly. He didn't do anything wrong, did he, Matt?
You know what? This is weird, but I'm actually going to give him an 8.
Yeah.
I thought he was probably one of the fairest and most honest and accurate refs we had. And
yeah, I agree.
Considering the fact we had a penalty and a red card in the game, no one's talking about him. The best refs you don't hear about, you don't talk about. Because they ref the game. I mean, there is some complaints from some West Ham fans about some really random law that says that he shouldn't have either let the goal stand or send Dawson off, like because of the way the build-up was. But I mean, you have to go hunting down the rule book and know the rule book back to front to know it. I didn't know it. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I gave him praise in the live stream because I was like, you know what, you want to see that? He played the advantage, let him score and get the second yellow after.
Yeah.
I thought he's probably one of the best refs we've had. And he was fair, he was decent, he was calling everything down the middle. I mean, you could say about the time wasting. But
yeah, that is what Freshfield just said. Kevin, the time waster friend. But we
got 8 added minutes at the end of the game, so
we did, of which I didn't think we need. I didn't think. I really didn't think so. Right, everything's kicking off about the Super League. I think some more clubs are dropping out. It's all going a bit AWOL for the Super League in terms of that. But the last people to rate before we go is me and Matt. So what are you giving me? Look at that picture. I look like I'm about to I'm very fiercely staring at something. I'm Matt there. What are you gonna give me and Matt? Get it, get it in the comment section. Get it in the live chat. Right. So we're saying love this new knockout format by the Super League. Very entertaining. Right. So let's rate Jacob. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reese. Jake 9, 10 out of 10. Matt 8. Why is Matt get the
Because I'm always really
lower
harsh on the
ratings?
ratings. That's why. I'm always harsh on the ratings, Jake.
There you go. 10 out of 10 for Stato. There we go. 10 out of 10 for Matt there. So we got some good reception back. We really have. But thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe to West Ham United if you want to. Any words before we go, Matt?
We haven't lost back-to-back games yet this season. So that hopefully means we're going to come on here next week and we're talking about a win again.
We're gonna beat Chelsea. Let's hope we will. Yeah, fan power. Definitely, we've got fan power. Yeah. Stell would be -7 out of 10. Well, to be fair, 6 got it together in the second half. I feel Stell's not here. Is he? Because there's no Masuaku to rate, is there?
We gave him a 10. He said in the live stream.
Yeah, he
because he wasn't playing, he gets a 10.
Because he's not playing, so he doesn't even need to be here to make the comments. He's winning and dining. Oh, there we go. See, yeah, there you go. He's probably still he's probably eating his teeth. Thanks for the Legacy fans. Have a great evening. Come on, Brighton. Yeah, come on, Brighton. Indeed. But that's it. Come on, you irons. Thank you very much to everybody for watching, staying with us throughout the whole of the 52 minutes. And we'll be back with another player rating show next week. All the stuff going out in the week. West Ham dailies. Stella Rant will be doing it tomorrow and all of that stuff. What's in the... That's harsh. That's what Jake gets a 9 and Matt a 4 for no scoring. That is hard. Yeah, it could be date night for Stell tonight. You never know. Entertaining as usual. Super stream. Thank you very much. And we'll be back very, very soon. Come on, you irons, and goodbye.